you want to go to New York, right? You want to go to New York. What do you think New York is like in the spring? In the springtime, is it?
People gather into the Times Square from all over the world.
That's on New Year's. Yeah, that's New Year's Day. But yeah, people do. A lot of tourists come to Times Square, right? And Times Square back in the 70s and 80s used to be a very dangerous place to be, right? There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of like adult bookstores, a lot of prostitutes, a lot of everything. It's very cops didn't really go there, you know, so it was a very dangerous place to be. Then when Mayor Giuliani took over, then he changed all that and he started selling the businesses for really cheap to bigger corporations like Disney and high-end restaurants and things like that, TV companies, things. So now it's an entertainment district, right? So a lot of people who are in entertainment go to, you know, a lot of famous people down in Times Square too. So, and a lot of television channels, news channels, newspapers, and let me see what else. Like cable TV channels, they all have their offices there now. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you plan to go sometime?
I wish I could.
You wish you could. You want to, so I think maybe you can someday. You just have to get a passport. So once you get a passport, you can go. Okay, and today is the 31st. You know what tomorrow is, right? What's tomorrow?
April Fool.
April Fool's Day. And what do we do on April Fools?
People trick cheating.
Yeah, we play tricks on each other. Yeah. When I was a kid, of course, it was very mean tricks. But as an adult, you can play silly tricks like saying your name is different all day. So my name is Tyson, but I can go around saying, "Who's Tyson? I'm Bob." Where's I don't know this Tyson, and then they can call me Bob for the rest of the day, right? Or maybe a radio station usually plays rock and roll. It will play like country music all day just to mess with its listeners, right? And then of course you see a bunch of fake news in your news feeds. You know, a lot of newspapers and stuff used to do that too. All right. So do you do anything here in Japan for April Fools? Like what kind of things?
I don't have some kind of friends to exchange messages or emails each other.
Oh, okay.
But I have a foreign friends chatting or talking or in this smartphone exchanging messages or emails each other like some kind of female friend or like a model.
Okay. And do you tell jokes to each other on April Fools? Like what do you do? Do you try and trick each other?
I didn't reach to the level of trick or to each other in my English.
Oh, okay. Well, I think, you know, just maybe sometime you can try. But on April Fool, if you can find a place that like read about April Fool's jokes, okay? So there's April Fool's jokes, and find a place that would have that on the internet and you can read about it, you know. April Fool's jokes, let me see, there's got to be a good website somewhere. So April Fool's jokes, and you'd start off with the jokes for kids, obviously, because you don't want to make the mistake. But you know, there's like things with kids you can, you know, what they used to do in my elementary school was we'd have the bottle of water, we'd walk out of the room, we'd come back, and the bottle of water was, now all of a sudden it was a soft drink, it was 7-Up or something. We're like, this isn't my drink, and the teacher would be like, ha 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 ha, you know, joke on a kid, right? So nothing dangerous, right? Or you can convince your friend that there's like, I'm moving to New York, and then you know, I'm going to be there for 2 years, and ha ha ha, you know, and then all of a sudden, oh really? No, April Fools. So when you confess that it's a joke, when you say nope, it's just a joke, say April Fools, but you can only do it on April 1st, right? That's the rule. Okay, April Fools. Very good, very good. Okay, so I know that you want to go to New York, and you want to. We like to do our role play of going through New York Customs, and you go practice there as a cardiologist, right? What else do you want to do in New York? Is there anything you'd like to talk about that you'd like to maybe see? Is there anything else you'd like to do in New York?
Going to TV studio and meet to some kind of celebrities.
Meet celebrities, okay. So we can say go to TV station and meet celebrities. That's a good thing to do. So in New York, there's a lot of different shows, like the Tonight Show. There's the Late Show, things like that you can buy tickets to go to the audience. And then sometimes the tickets, you can get a meet and greet with the star if you pay extra money, right? So you can get like autographs, or you can talk to them and stuff. That's actually pretty cool. It's a good idea. Okay. And then what about like, are there any restaurants that you know of in New York?
For example, French cuisine, fancy restaurant.
Okay. Fancy French restaurant. So I know there's one in New York. Let me see what it is. I just want to make sure I have the right one. So, fancy French restaurant in New York. What's the most famous one? There's a meal, but there's also another one that's like the famous one. Here, instead of fancy, say famous French restaurant. Famous. What do we got? Balthazar. No, that's not it. The Cuckoo, Raoul's, Bistro d'Ami. Oh, maybe it closed. Maybe it's no longer around. Okay. So I know there's one called, what was it called? La Petite Bouchon? La Petite Bouchon. Okay. And we can go there if you like. What else do you think? Let's see here. There's Balthazar, which is a really good one from what I hear. I've only been to New York once, so I really don't know much about it. Anyways, okay. All right. So do you have any questions for me before we start?
You are from the United States, right?
I'm sorry?
You are from the United States.
Yes. I'm from California.
Have you ever been to New York or Manhattan?
I've been to New York and Manhattan only once, and that was when I was 23 years old, and that was back in the 90s. So it was, the World Trade Center was still there. So it is an interesting place to be. Very big city, very small, but packed with people, right? And it was June, so it was a little bit warm, you know. They get very hot there in the summertime. So June in New York is very hot. June, July, August. August being the hottest month in New York is very hot. Okay? Very hot. And some parts of New York have a lot of crime. Some parts don't have very much crime. But the Central Park is very nice, but only in the daytime. The nighttime is very scary.
How was New York?
It was amazing. We did all the touristy things. We went to the World Trade Center, went to the Empire State Building. We went to Central Park. We went to see a Broadway play, which was very nice. In the daytime only. Okay. There was we had a friend we were meeting, and he lived on Staten Island, so we went to Staten Island, and then we went and saw a Mets game, and we saw the Mets play, because I don't like the Yankees, so I like the Mets, so we went and saw the Mets. Went to see the Mets.
Why not Yankees?
Well, so when I was very young, going from Southern California, I'm always been a Dodgers fan, right? Love the Dodgers. And there were 3 years in a row where the Dodgers and the Yankees were in the World Series. So it was like 1980, 81, and 82, right? And they lost the first two to the Yankees. And of course, my mother and father were like, "Oh, the Yankees suck. All they do is buy their players, right? Because they have so much money. They're the most famous baseball team in America, right? So they use their money to buy all the good players, right? And the Dodgers back then were not doing so well with the money. So we had a good infield, but we did win in 1981, and then that was amazing. So, but yeah, the Yankees are always my, I would say, nemesis. Not exactly my enemy, but my opposite team that I like. So, but the Mets are in the same league, so I always see the Dodgers and the Mets play, okay, because they're in the same league. So, yeah, play at Citi Field. Yeah, okay. And then there was one game in 1981 where the Yankees pitcher, he hit my favorite player in the head with a pitch and knocked him out, right? So ever since then, I've not liked the Yankees. So I will give this to you, so you don't have to write, but you can if you want. Okay. All right. We're doing pretty well. All right. What would you like to talk about today?
First of all, I have foreign friends like film model or female model in the all over the world. For example, Russia, Israel, Italy. In the all over the world, I have a lot of female friends who is acting as a model. So
Okay.
when they came to Japan, I want to introduce Japanese sukiyaki to my experience sukiyaki.
Right. Oh, this is the Wagyu sukiyaki, right? Very nice. That's very good. Fried salmon. That's a little tiny piece. Oh, there's a big beef. Okay, there we go. And it's got big, giant chunks of tofu too. That's really good, like the big tofu. So is this in Kyoto?
Isetan.
Oh, Isetan. Oh, that's right. That's right, Isetan. Right up here, right? Okay. And do you go here often?
Once or twice in 2 or 3 months.
Oh, okay. Very good. Wow. Pardon me. Okay. So it looks like they put it in the pan and they have salt in there as well. And is that the shoyu? Very good.
Do you want to have it?
I do. Looks very good. It looks very nice. Is it pretty expensive?
Maybe $100 per person.
Wow, okay. It's impressive. There's the tofu. And is that, what are those? Is that garlic or sweet potato? What is that? Huh. And then what kind of, in the bowl, in this bowl down here, what kind of liquid is in the bowl?
And raw eggs.
Raw eggs?
With raw eggs.
Okay. Wow. Very nice. Oh, that's right, I wrote the ingredients down last time. Very nice. Yep. Very good. Okay. Very nice. All right, what would you like to start with today?
Explain my friends about sukiyaki.
Okay. So let's. So how we do this? We just say, if I were to ask you, well, what is sukiyaki?
Sukiyaki is a hot pot dish with meat and vegetables. The vegetables are made beef wagyu styles.
Yeah. So what we would say is we'd say hot pot dish with vegetables and wagyu style beef. The way I wrote it down was a little backwards, but yeah, wagyu style beef. Okay. So I would say hot pot dish with vegetables, tofu, and wagyu style beef. That's a good way to describe it. Okay. And then I would say, well, what comes in it? What is inside it? So there's a lot of these different things.
Uni is appetizers.
Right.
Mushrooms.
Braised beef. Eggs.
Enoki, bean sprouts, tofu, onions, dates, cabbage, bamboo shoots, cognac,
mustard seeds, yeah. Mizuna is mustard seed, yeah. So what does it taste like? So that's the question, yeah. What is it? How does it taste?
Salty and a little sweet.
Okay. So it's salty and a little sweet. Okay. Salty and a little sweet. Okay. Now, here's a really good question. What do you drink with sukiyaki? What's the best drink?
Soft drink or ginger ale.
Oh, okay. We can say it goes best with soft drinks or ginger ale. Yeah, goes best with soft drinks or ginger ale. Okay. Now, what if your friend wanted to have a beer? Would that be okay? Would beer go well with it?
My friend is almost 20s or 30s. So
Okay, so maybe not beer.
they want to drink with beers.
Okay, so beer is also good with sukiyaki. Cool. All right. And then she would say, "Oh, it sounds delicious." Okay. And then she would ask, "Oh, well, how much? What kind is it? What are the different types?"
Bamboo is about $34.
Mm-hmm.
The most cheapest one.
Right.
Pine is about $50. The middle class. Social, the most upper class, about $60.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And what's so special? What is in the special? Is it just more, or is it both bamboo and pine, or is it how is it different?
Social is about the most delicious beef, Wagyu beef.
Ah, okay. So if you want the best beef, get the special sukiyaki. Cool, get the special sukiyaki. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, if you want the best beef, get the special sukiyaki. Perfect. All right, any other questions about this?
That's all.
That's all. Okay, so let me see the time here. We're doing really well. Good. All right. How about, so what would you like to do next?
We are doing a lot of many Europe about Starbucks and Subways, or maybe customer immigrations.
Oh, customs and immigrations. Okay. Let me just do this real quick. All right. I just wanted to input our talk about the sukiyaki so we can have something in there. Okay. So if I put the sukiyaki in here, that means you can, if you don't have me next time, you can talk about sukiyaki with somebody else because they'll see, oh, he talks about sukiyaki. And they might talk to you about it. Okay, so customs and immigrations. And welcome to the United States. Welcome to the United States at LaGuardia Airport in New York.
Not John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy. Okay, let's welcome to the United States at John F. Kennedy Airport, or JFK. Okay, airport. Okay, and where are you flying from?
We are coming from the Narita Airport, Tokyo, from Japan.
Okay.
We are coming to United States to live and working as a cardiovascular surgeon.
Okay. And how many people in your party?
Me and my wife and my child, 3 of our families.
Okay, may I see your passports, please?
Here you are.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This looks good. This looks good. Unfortunately, your passport is expired, so I'm afraid we're going to have to take you in the back and ask you some questions. Is that okay?
Really?
Yeah. Passport expired 2 weeks ago.
I understand.
Okay, yeah. So we'll take you in the back. We'll ask you some questions, just a formality. Okay? All right. So please tell your wife that it'll be about a half hour. Okay? Cool. All right. So sit you down. And okay, Mr. Saito, this won't take very long. I just need to ask you some other questions. Is your current passport, did you renew it and you just didn't get it yet? So have you received your new passport yet?
I remember that I thought I must have renewed my passport.
Okay, well, let me just see here. We're just typing. Okay, it looks like you did renew it. They just did not send you your new, they just didn't send it to you yet. So it's probably still in the mail in Japan. Do you have anybody in Japan that can send it to you?
At the Japanese embassy.
Okay, they can send it to you? Okay, very good. All right. And let me see here. So, do you have an address in New York City?
We're staying at the New York Manhattan Midtown East Trump Tower.
Okay, very good. The Trump Tower. Very good. And okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue you a temporary visa, so you can get you can get out of the airport and get back to your new residence. And we're gonna you just need to make sure to contact the Japanese embassy within 2 weeks. Okay?
In the New York City?
Yeah, contact the Japanese embassy in New York City, and within 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to contact them, and they'll make sure they get you your new passport.
Where is the Japanese embassy in New York?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me see. How about this?
Please show me with the laptop screen. I'll take a photo.
Let's see, in New York City, New York. Let's see here. Okay, it's let me see. Then it is at 299 Park Avenue in Manhattan.
Please let me take a photo.
Absolutely.
Pasha.
Click it. Okay, good. Very good. So yes, if you could just call them and then make an appointment, and within 2 weeks, and you should be just fine. Okay. And let me see. Okay, so it looks like we've checked your baggage. You're free to go. So if you have any questions, please call the Japanese embassy and let them take care of that for you. Okay. Welcome to New York.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. So I've traveled to countries before where my passport. So I have an American passport. Now, that used to be the most powerful passport in the world, right? Not so much anymore. Japanese passport's actually very powerful. Way more than America. The reason is because not a lot of countries like America anymore. They actually don't like us, which is understandable. So I went to Saudi Arabia, right? And I was on a nonprofit trip with the nonprofit I worked for. And my passport was valid, but they didn't accept it. Because apparently I had to call ahead and get a visa prepared before, but I never did. So they had to take me into a room and ask me a bunch of questions, and I had to do exactly so. They said, call the American consulate within 2 weeks, make sure you get that exception in your passport, and you'll be fine. But yeah, I was in that room for like 3 hours. What are you doing here? Where are you coming from? Like, why are you bringing vitamins into the country? So things like that. So I used to work for a nonprofit that gave vitamins to children who were not being fed very well. So they didn't have enough food, so we give them vitamins. That was part of my job. I did it all over the world for a while. So I've traveled everywhere. I've been to 92 countries, right? So Saudi Arabia is very hard because it's a pretty wealthy country, right? But they don't understand when I say, I need to feed your kids. They're like, we don't have any starving children here. I go, yes, you do. So I got into a little argument with them. They're like, yes, you do have starving kids here. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Like, and he's like, look at me. I drive a Mercedes. I'm excellent. Look at my clothes. Like, we have no starving kids here. And I go, trust me, you do. Okay. He could not believe it. He was very surprised. So, but on the other hand, we ended up laughing and telling jokes, and then he said, yes, just go to the American embassy and they'll take care of you.
When you sent to the other room, were you feeling some anxiety or feeling nervous or getting arrested?
I was very nervous. So I wasn't really arrested. It's not like they put me in handcuffs and threw me in a cage, right? They just escorted me to a certain part of the airport, and they sat me in a room and they asked me a bunch of questions. But I was really nervous. Also, it was really hot, so I was sweating. So I was sweating. They were like, "Why are you sweating, Mr. Blades? Are you nervous?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just really hot." Anyway. But it was very nervous. I was very nervous because I didn't know the law, right? I had no idea. You know, I didn't know if they were going to throw me in a cage or not. I had no clue. Anyway, but yes, they're a very wealthy country, but they do have people who are starving there. So that was my mission. So they're just wondering why I was bringing vitamins, you know, and why my passport didn't work. So that was the main thing. But other than that, after it was over, they were very nice, and they said, "Oh, we're going to drive you to your hotel, and then you can the embassy's right over here, so you can just go there." And then I went there, and it was fine. Yeah, no big deal. In America, it'd be a little easier, I think, because they wouldn't, unless you were really there to commit a crime or something. Then they're, you know, if they think you're a criminal, then they're going to put you in jail. But if it's just a expired passport, they would most likely help you figure it out, you know, so you don't have anything to worry about. But do make sure your passport is up to date. That's the big thing. All right. Okay, so what would you like to do next?
More deeper customer integrations.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, let me just check the time. We've got 14:16. We're doing really well. All right. Okay, welcome to JFK Airport. Welcome to the United States. And how many people in your party?
We are coming from the Narita Airport from Tokyo, Japan, and we are coming to United States to live and working as cardiovascular surgeon with my families.
Okay, and how many people are with you today?
Me and my wife and my child.
Okay.
Here you are.
Thank you. Passports. Very good. Very good. Well, it looks like these check out okay. Do you have anything that you need to declare?
I'm a cardiovascular surgeon. I have having medical instruments in my briefcase.
In your briefcase. Do you mind if I take a look?
Here you go.
Shoot. Okay. Well, this. Were you able to carry this on the plane, or did you check it?
I'm carrying up on tweeters besides me on the airplane.
Okay. So it's very unusual. I'm not too happy about that, but it looks like it's safe. It's pretty small, you know.
It's
just
only a 1 inch blade.
Yeah, it's only 1 inch blade, so it's not that big a deal. I'm just really surprised that they let you take it on the plane with you. So, but that's okay. All right, so that's fine. And it looks like you got a bunch of like stethoscope and stuff in here. Very nice bag, by the way. So, okay, here you go. Click, click. There you go. And now, where will you be staying while you're in New York?
In the 2 or 3 months from now, we'll be staying at the New York Manhattan Midtown East Trump Tower.
Okay. Manhattan at Trump Tower. Okay. And if I needed to ask any questions or follow up with you, can I reach you at the Trump Tower?
This is my United States phone number and email address, so please take a photo or something.
212, no. Got it. Okay, I got it. Thank you. 212-555-1212. Very good. Okay. All right, looks like everything's in order. Here's your passports back, and you're free to go. Thank you. Welcome to New York. Yeah. Very good. All right. So, do you ever plan to go to New York? Do you have a plan, or do you just want to?
I just want to.
Do you think you will?
I wish I could.
I think someday you could probably go if you wanted to. If you really wanted to, you could probably go. You know, you just have to make sure you save the money and make a plan. Yeah. You should be able to go. There's lots of stuff to do there in New York. Actually, all up and down the east coast of the United States, there's many different little small towns and cities where you can do lots of different things. So, if you like nature, the East Coast is very nice too. So, but yeah, I think you should try and go, just to see what it's like. You know, I came to Japan when I was 19 years old during the summer one time by myself, just because I thought, oh, why not go to Japan? I had saved up some money, and I went. I didn't have any sort of plan. I had no travel guide, nothing. I just found a hotel and then just started walking. I found a lot of cool stuff to do. So, yeah. The food mainly was very good. So, okay. Alrighty. So 14:20. So we got 5 minutes left in this one. What else would you like to try? Did you have any questions for me?
When you went to the Saudi Arabia and you are sent to another room in the airport, custom immigration.
Yes.
How did you feel? You were getting nervous?
I was scared, yeah. I was scared, yeah. So I was kind of like shaking a little bit because I don't know if, see, when you don't know what the law is, you don't know if you broke the law, right? So you have no idea. And you hear stories that Saudi Arabia's justice system is very, very strict, right? Like if you steal something, they cut off your hand, right? I didn't want to get my hands cut off, so I was very, very nervous, right? But at the same time, they were very nice because, Saudi Arabia and America have a treaty, and they know that if I do get mistreated, there will be some sort of problem. But they're police officers. All police officers are very suspicious. They're always like, "Who are you? What are you doing here? What is your purpose here? What are all these vitamins?" I had boxes and boxes of vitamins with me, right? Vitamin A, prenatal vitamins, and then also some deworming pills. And they're like, "What are you doing with all these?" And I'm like, "Well, I work for a nonprofit." So it was about 3 hours worth of questions, And they said, "Well, the reason why we got you here is because you didn't apply for the visa beforehand. So the way it works is you're supposed to send your passport to the Saudi Arabian consulate in America, and they approve the visa, then they send it back to you with the visa in it, then you go, right?" And when I didn't have that stamp in there when I got there, they were like, "What are you doing here?" They're like, "You're not supposed to be here." And I go, "Yeah, I'm on a trip with this nonprofit. See, here's my other coworkers were there." So I get taken in the back. I'm really nervous, but when I get out, I felt fine. It was like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. However, it's very hot. It's like almost 40 degrees, and I was sweating and I was nervous. So I get out, and then all my friends that I work with are like, "Tyson, what did you do?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So, but then what they did was they gave me, just like I did with you, they gave me the directions to the consulate, and I called them that day. They made an appointment for the next day, and I drove on down there. So, yeah. And it was the American consulate, it's just like walking into America. See, it's like a little piece of America in Saudi Arabia. So you don't have to act, you can act like an American, right? So just like if you're in Japan, you can go to the consulate in New York, and it's like being in Japan when you're in New York, because technically it is Japan, right? So you don't have to worry when you get to the consulate. You have to worry before you get to the consulate. What if I get stopped by a police officer on the way and they want to see my passport? Well, there's a lot of explaining to do. So anyway, yeah, it was pretty wild, but that's the only time I've ever had that problem. When I went to India, I had to send my passport to the consulate, get a special visa, and then I could fly to India. So I had all the documents there. Americans can't